Hi, this video is for anyone who is broke, looking for a job, just maybe looking for a little bit of extra money. My name is Betty. This is my channel, Navigating Betty. I started this channel 4 years ago to document my progress from here to there, and I'm kind of right here. I've had a job for 3 years now. Whenever I started, I didn't have a job. I was working DoorDash. My car was broken down. I had to borrow my sister's. I was in forbearance on my house. My AC broke down. They were about to turn, my electricity off, and I had just gone through a divorce. I didn't, such a fun time. But here I am, and I'm doing good. I'm doing better than I have ever been. And I just thought, I'm going to throw at you every single thing I've tried, looked into when trying to make money. First thing that I don't hear a lot about is temp agencies like Adecco or Spherion. They are already set up with companies, and they're looking for somebody to fit into a space who already has the skills, already knows what they're doing. Could be for one day, could be for a week. They could be looking for somebody to fit in there permanently, but they need somebody like right now. And I'll be honest, it's usually something like receptionist, or they're working on a big project. They just need extra hands who have experience, and you're going to be like one step above volunteer, but it'll be income and it'll be experience. Also, something I haven't heard people say is about like universities. If you're in a town with universities, and I can tell you this because I used to work for University of Texas at Austin, they have their own temp agencies. And that's called UTEMPS. You want to go into the careers page, look and see, or maybe just do a search, temporary work at at your university. And they might have their own temp agency. While we're at it, and this is just a little note for my older people, and I'm talking like anybody's going to see this, but I know you don't like computers. I know you feel like you have been passed by. Baby, suck it up. Suck it up. You're not done. I know you want to sleep. I know you want to take a rest. I know you want to lay down. I know you wish this didn't have to be so hard, but it is. And you can do this. So suck it up. If you don't have a computer, and if you have any means at all, go to a pawn shop and look for a Chromebook. If all you're doing is going to surf the internet or watch the occasional movie, you don't need anything else. Chromebook. Test it out while you're still there. Get a sibling, a child, grandchild to help you. Tell them what you're doing. And you're not done yet. If you need money, you could still have more time, more space, more life to come at you. So don't give up hope. I know how hard it can be. Don't give up hope. Let's get going. So I have a couple of notes. I wrote notes. All right, let's start with like the base level. All right, like whenever you need money now, like right freaking now, donate plasma. I donate plasma 2 times a week, and it's about $100 a week, so $400 a month. And you can donate twice a week. You have to have 2 days in between. My place has a space for kids, so if you have kids, you can just like give them a phone, put them in the kids' place. It takes about drink water. It takes as much as you drink water, so anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. Remember, this is stuff if you need money just right freaking now. Sell your stuff. Sell it. If you have really nice stuff, look for consignment places. If you have really nice clothes, go to a Platos closet. They will pay you. Selling it on Facebook Marketplace as well might work if it's really nice, if people can, really judge what they're looking at. And then old electronics. If you have like an old MacBook Pro, contact Apple, Mac, Apple stores, they will buy back their stuff, not for a very large amount, especially if it's like over 10 years. I don't know why, but yeah, they don't. But hey, every little bit helps. Have a yard sale, garage sale. You may have to look into the city requirements for a permit because everything is regulated now. And I'm trying to think of which way to go here. So also, if you are handy and have tools, use the tools that you have. Like you can mow lawns, register an account, register a business with your county. And I registered a business with mine, and it was about $14. Then, have something like Mirror Technologies or, Mirror Productions or something that you can use to encompass a whole lot of things, or not. It doesn't matter. It's your business. But if you have a lawnmower, mow lawns. If you can do house cleaning, do house cleaning. Look and see how, compare prices. Do a search for what you're wanting to do and see how it's priced, and then just go a little underneath them. You can do yard work, dog poop pickup service. I live in a very colorful neighborhood. Wouldn't have it any other way. You can do laundry service. If you have a pressure washer, you could do pressure washing. Scrap metal, you could go hunting around looking for scrap metal. And then people will buy that scrap metal. You could recycle cans. If you have a truck, people with trucks, it's like you have your own business already. You could do so many things. But other things, you could rent your tools out. There's apps for just about anything. Rent your tools out, your car, your side lots. More on that later. But you could do medical research. You could do surveys. There's like a survey app that's called Prolific that you take surveys and they pay you. Not a whole lot. You're not going to get rich on any of this. I'm not Dave Ramsey. I'm a person who has been broke a lot of times, and I'm still here. So other stuff is your car, stuff to do with your car. You could do all of the delivery apps: DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart, Amazon Flex, especially again if you have a truck. Better if you have like a little van or like one of those big cars like Odyssey. I want an Odyssey. Uber Lyft, but you have to have a nice car with Uber Lyft, or any of the cars where you have a passenger. You have to have a nice car of a certain age. Then there's also like your own your own delivery service, like ship with the T at the end. And then there's also another one called Roadie. And I'm going to try to make a list of all of these that I'm talking about in the, and then those are like delivery that are not food, that are not kind of like, UPS and FedEx would do, but they, they're from a company that just needs it to go there right now. Like right frickin' now. And you could also rent your car with Turo.com, Turo. There's a way that there's something that's called car wrapping. That's advertising. If you don't mind, somebody will, it has to do with the car. Some cars they don't do, but if you don't mind having a company wrap your car in their advertising, that's something else also. For you yourself, what you can do if you have any kind of skill at all, handyman, you're plumbing or electrical, there's TaskRabbit. If you're just handy, if you're good with animals, there's Rover, there's WAG. Again, if you have a truck, you can do moving help, you can haul junk. I think I put those two in the wrong category. Now, if you have something approximating talent, like you're good at something, unlike some of us, if you're good at like editing or copy editing, web design, graphic design, you could go on Fiverr with two R's, Fiverr, Upwork, user testing, that's usually with electronical stuff. Respondent is one of those things. Again, Prolific is a survey app, and then sometimes there's focus groups. They still do focus groups, and you could try getting on with that depending on your area. Google search. Now, if you're creative, like, you could do so many things, but also there is a lot of competition. However, like if you do photography, you could take photos, especially, I mean, if you go on to Shutterstock, or what are they called? There's one called Fope, like soap, but with an F. If you go on to these photo places, you'll see that there's like niches. There's like business. There's a lot of close-ups of electronics, you know, hands on keyboards. Like, do a search for anything, and you'll see that there's images that you can see that illustrate what you're thinking about. Somebody took a photo of that. You could be one of them. Of course, there is a fee to establish yourself on Shutterstock, or, you know, all these other photo places. There is. But if you have the money, you could try to do that. If you don't, then obviously no. But if you're able to do photography, I think that would be a great way to do that. Somebody's here. What the hell? It looks like they're continuing to move. Voice work. If you have a good voice, or you can fluctuate your voice, and if you're able to soundproof like a closet or a bathroom, then you could maybe record your voice and do voice work. Audiobooks, gaming voices. I hear that's a big thing if you're in a big town and you know, are able to do that. I think a guy with Amazon Flex just came to my house and delivered something. So he's in his own car, and he just dropped off. Oh my God, I did do something. Anyway, let's go on. But hey, there you are. Some guy in his own car came and dropped me my delivery thing, because we're pampered people and we want our stuff now. And yeah, an example right there for you. Okay, so voice work, though, look into voice work. If you're able to soundproof somewhere, you could be doing audiobooks. It could be something for you, you know, like you could do in your own spare time. Hey, I'm sorry I keep moving this thing. And OnlyFans, no judgment, man. Do what you have to do. There's a thing for feet, from what I understand. I think. I've never seen it myself. Then there's obviously YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, blog writing, Patreon. That if you're creative, if you have a great personality, if you are able to produce content in a consistent manner, then, you know, there's ways that you can make money with that, and you could like link them all together, especially like if you are able to like produce digital content, or even t-shirts, come up with a logo, do Printify, Shopify, then link it and list it on your YouTube, on your Instagram, on your Patreon. Like, hey, there is, I just thought of something. I want to say her name was Photography by Leah. And whenever I first discovered, not discovered, but whenever I first really started watching YouTube in like 2019, Photography by Leah was a channel that I really loved. And she was a van lifer. And she did photography because she was like really skilled at it. And now she makes her living going around the national parks and doing workshops with people who want to take nature photography. And it lasts like 2 or 3 days. And you camp out there. It's a camping experience and it's photography lessons and it's just a good time. I wanted to take a workshop. They're a little pricey, as it should be, because it's a whole immersive experience. And maybe one day I will. And I'm going to list videos, YouTubers that I think will help you, that I think are helpful. And if anybody watches and goes to those channels and watches them, be nice. You know, I'm saying that they're great, by the way. If you know that somebody came to you from here, I'm saying that you're great. So don't come for me, okay? Wow. I live in Texas. There's a lot of trucks. But, so yeah, if you can go on places like Printify, Shopify, and create logos, and you can create the design, and then you can put it on like Amazon Handmade, Etsy, and whenever something is ordered, then Shopify, Printify will create the product and ship it to that person. Of course, they take a cut because they're doing all the work. But you can do that. And then it's passive income. You do it once and it's passive income. Similarly is Kindle direct printing. If you like to do things with books, or if you can write, you can print your own stuff. Low content book, no content books. You can do calendars. You can do recipe books that are like blank, but here's my recipe for this. You know, appetizers. You could do planners, and also YouTube and Etsy, and Pinterest, for goodness sakes. Pinterest. So much traffic on Pinterest, you don't know, and people see something like, oh my God, I love that. Click. And you create it once, and you don't have to mess with it again, especially if you register an account and actually work with it. I created something and I put it on Amazon KDP, and I completely forgot about it. And every now and then I'll see that somebody like bought it. And I put no effort into it other than to create it. And obviously it's like $2 or $3 because I priced it at $5.99. And, Amazon takes the gigantic cut that they do, but, I'm not, they're doing all the work. So if you put effort into it, it could be a source of income. If you are thinking about, if you're handy, if you can bake, if you do tarot card reading, if you create jewelry, then you can like sell these at farmers markets or at festivals. Face painting, stuff like that. If you have business skills, right. You could, or if you're a teacher, you could teach online, teach remotely. And if you are looking to take care of somebody, there's actually like care.com for elderly people, or Sitter City for like children. Of course, I'm sure that they screen you as they should and make sure you're okay, but there's that. And last is property. If you have property, there's a way to make money with your property. Obviously, you can rent a room, you could vacate your house, and then rent out your entire house, or you could do it as Airbnb. You could, if you have a driveway, you could rent out your driveway. If you have a, oh my gosh, it's my stray. If you have a garage or a shed, you could rent it out as storage. If you have land, there's a way to rent it out to RVers like Hip Camp. If you have an RV, or you could put that kind of like an Airbnb rental, spruce it up, get little soaps or something, and you could rent that out Airbnb or on something called Outdoorsy if you want to let them drive off with it and camp with it. And that, I think, is it. Those are my suggestions. I keep on moving this. Those are my suggestions for people who really, really need money. And I know you probably thought of all of these. But maybe if you didn't, if there was just one thing that you hadn't thought of, I'm happy. I mean, I won't know at all. But I'll just be happy. I'll just be happy that I did this. I'll also say that there's a few websites that I think are helpful if you're trying to save money. So the biggest one, and this may be not anything you want to know about, vegan channels. I have seen so many videos about people who are talking about the high cost of meat. And maybe that'll change in the future, but vegan channels, vegan people who do vegan, they're working with vegetables and with beans and tofu. And it's just another way to learn how to cook, just like if you wanted to learn how to cook Thai. It's just the same thing, you're using ingredients you may have heard about but don't really know what to do with. And you could save money. Some that I've always loved: Sarah's Vegan Kitchen, Rainbow Plant Life. There's a Cheap Lazy Vegan, and Derek Sarno, FitGreenMind, and Young Man Cooking. Frugally Delicious is not vegan but vegetable friendly, and she is outstanding in that she tries to make the cheapest meals, and it's entertaining. She gives you a lot of bang for your buck. And Do It Myself Peg is an older lady who just has a lot of great ideas and gives you a lot of wisdom and different things to think about. Rob the Maritimer. He's really great in talking about how to start YouTube if you're thinking about it. Silver and Solo also talks about being older and alone and working, being happy like that, and what are the great benefits of being silver and solo. I like her. When you're talking about money, there's Retire Early 500K. Just a guy talking about retirements and investments and how to manage all that. He also is an author, published author, which he's done while he's been retired. Under the median, like in the middle of the road, Under the Median, a older couple who talk about finances and minimalism and, just making the most of what you have. And Kaden, a single mother who, she has a lot of very good minimalism advice, financial advice, food advice, and I just like all of them. So I will list them all as well. Again, creators, do not come for me. I am saying I love you and I think you're great. Anyway, if you've been hanging out, thanks so much. I hope you have a good day. Bye.